on.
If a medical organization is releasing a product,
I
then
don't
that's to jump
understand
to
why
oh,
you
good.
deny the fact that this stuff exists. Like I just don't.
I'm
I
not.
don't.
I'm asking you where's the product? And
I've
where's the
just. I've.
medical?
Let
You're
me go get
asking
the
why
link for you
What
again.
product?
You're asking
Except
why
for
is it
one
not
product.
widely available? That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Why is it not widely available?
It
Which
is
is a good
widely
question.
available. It is widely available. They're selling it
Okay,
on the
show me
internet.
a list of different products.
I'm gonna go.
A bit later,
I'm gonna go get you the link right now to
please.
Mark,
freaking.
Please.
You
Mark,
click
it's
on.
probably because it's expensive. That's probably why it's not widely available.
Well, that or if you don't go to the we call the right hospital for the process, to where because they got to take a lot of that information, like your how you say the way your body runs, the damages, or they got to put all that computer stuff together where it works with your chemistry.
Well, they do have the stuff in the hospitals where, where you can speak through a computer when they put a device on your head if you are unable to speak or move your body. Yeah.
Yeah, they can manufacture it there.
Well, not at least not in the UK. If not,
even in the UK, they have the ones where like you blink and you can literally type on the computer.
Yes, that's sort of that's eyelid muscles. Yeah, I did. Many years ago, I did some charity work for some disabled learning youth thing, and acted as IT support for them, and I came across all kinds of accessibility sort of where, so things like tongue switchers as an example, and yeah, I've come across an IE lid sort of switch.
Okay, click on this link right here.
What
in the chat right here?
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Click on that. Click on that link. I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna read this so that freaking.
I was talking about wider in market.
Let me go ahead and read this so that people in the audience can hear it. It's from Cortical Labs. It says actual intelligence. Think beyond silicon. Join the new era of computing and deploy your technology to real neurons locally on the CL1 or distributed on the Cortical Cloud. So you can buy this stuff because it's not artificial intelligence; it's actual intelligence. Think beyond silicon.
I think you're missing a point a little bit. We were talking about human interface devices. HIDs.
That's exactly what this is, man. This is exactly what it is.
It's not as a separate machine that lives outside of them.
Okay. This is no, dude. This is not. This is actually going straight into the brain, dude. Okay. They are using CL1 right now to freaking put implants into people's brains that can't freaking move half their face. They're putting these neurons into the brain so that they can freaking actually move their freaking mouth and talk.
Again, in countries like jurisdictions like the UK, this wouldn't be allowed without medical approval and the entire medical approval process.
Well, how does the UK handle that when it comes from one of their like Australia?
I'm not sure about the actual process, but I know the process can be extremely long.
Hey, sorry to interrupt. Roger, I accidentally moved you to viewer mode because I was trying to make that screen predominant on my phone, and I accidentally removed it. Sorry about that. Did I mess up the thing?
No, I think it only affects you. Only affects your screen.
Oh, okay. So I'm trying to view what your site here, so I'm gonna have to figure that out.
anyway, yeah. As I was saying, this isn't a. It's a biological computer, i.e., a computer with a biological element within it, module within it. But
Yeah.
it's not a computer that actually physically links into a human.
Brain. But
Brain, if you like.
But what they do is, as well, is they're using it to manufacture, because they found out that by doing this process, it leads to other types of healing and progress in medical industry. They found over, I think they're claiming
sorry. My point is, it doesn't matter what the engineers or scientists or technicians have found. Without a medical approval, the concept of an internal human interface device would not be possible on the open market. All except for maybe I've seen there was a Swiss company that was dealing with RFID chips under the skin, and I think in Switzerland, at least, in where they could do it.
What about on your skull? The chips that are on your skull, will they permit that?
No, it was just in a arm or hand or something.
Because because they use that for when people have like car wrecks and their head got hit real hard and it caused.
Okay, yeah. I was just thinking things like obvious medical treatments, like pacemakers, as an example. That's a good example of a human interface device, internal.
Because they came across a bunch of new stuff they did through that process for medical industry, and actually
okay, I pulled up the article that I had used before in the last time I had this conversation, and there is a case with a guy by the name of Keith Thomas, which was reported by The Guardian. Now, the thing is in his case, doctors did not give him new biological neurons. Instead, they used a technology called a double neuron bypass to reconnect the healthy living neurons he already had inside of his head.
So it was an already well-established medical procedure.
Now, when Keith's neuron bypass works, now when a person is paralyzed by a spinal cord injury, the brain cells that say move any hand are still perfectly healthy. Now, the problem is that the spinal cord is broken, so the signal can't reach the arm. Scientists at the Feinstein Institute for Medical Research fixed this by building an artificial bridge. Listening to his thoughts, surgeons implanted tiny computer microchips directly into the areas of Keith's brain to control movement and touch.
Okay.
When Keith imagines moving his hand, his neural brain neurons fire electrical signals. The microchips pick up on these signals and send them to a computer running artificial intelligence. The AI decodes what he wants to do and instantly beams those instructions directly to flexible electrical patches on his spine and forearm muscles, causing them to move. They even put sensors on his fingertips. When he touches something, a signal travels back to the chip in his brain, allowing him to actually feel his sister's hand or the fur of his dog.
Okay.
No,
but this is just a test. It's one-off experiment.
This just came out. This
Okay.
just came out, and it came out by the Feinstein Institute. Feinstein
German?
Institute for Medical Research. And I think Feinstein was the guy that everybody accused of Pizzagate during Hillary Clinton's.
Okay. German, Austrian, German.
No, I think Feinstein, the one who they're talking about, is the guy who backed Hillary Clinton when she was running for president.
Okay.
So
So, which country was this operation conducted in?
it was here in the United States. I know
Okay.
that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
But they say the real brain rewired itself, which it can happen, but they still use microchips to freaking do it. You know what I mean? And this is falling into the research that Robert was, or that led us from the telekinesis that we got into. Like when they did the research back in the day for telekinesis, they didn't find any concrete evidence for telekinesis, but they learned how to develop this technology because of it.
So you say telekinesis of 100 years ago was actually some little machines?
No, they literally did do research on telekinesis.
Yeah, I know they did do research, as you explained earlier. But yeah.
But because of the tricks and all of the stuff that they learn that comes out of like what magicians and skeptics were talking about, they actually developed this because of electromagnetic energies.
And just not that. They found out too. The mind control picks it like your sound and your aura. Where
Well, can I add in my target individual experience with this, or is that too French?
This is Robert, so he's got to make the call. What do you think, Robert? You want to hear some targeted stuff?
as long as it fits the subject.
Oh,
Okay, so yeah.
does.
Well, you want to talk about telekinesis. So you see all these videos online, you know, these people experiencing paranormal, yada yada yada, you know, they'll hear things and they'll record with their phones, you know, plates flying off the tables.
We've all seen those haunted house documentaries.
Well, yeah, so you'll see like cabinet opening and plates just falling out and stuff like that. Well, so in my experience as a targeted individual, you know, not only did I find out they can heterodyne frequencies to make sounds. When I say heterodyne, you add in two sound waves that are not audible by the human ear, and you focus them into a single spot. Sound can happen and resonate in that single area. So, in my study of, you know, the PSYOP that the NSA was doing, they like to do a lot of Scooby-Doo stuff, and they tried that with me. And they do this for many reasons. For target individuals, they have to play hyper game theory. They have to get you know, people to use up their money, use up their resources. That usually means moving, getting a new place, buying a new house, you know, and the stress of it and everything, you know, it becomes detrimental, extremely detrimental to someone's life, especially down the road where, you know, they just end up wanting to kill themselves. That's the whole point of the program. So they do a lot of Scooby-Doo stuff. So this is the only law the United States has around the supernatural. If you have a house where somebody has died in, or somebody was murdered in, before you buy that house, the realtor has to tell you that. Why is this the only law in the United States government that that is a law is beyond me, other than the fact they want to use the mysticism, the superstition around ghosts and hauntings. So I have found that they also have technology to do the same thing, heterodyne two different frequencies or more, and have it focus on one point, and they can move objects.
Yeah.
So you hearing voices and stuff flying off shelves. Yeah, it can be done quite easily. I mean, they got the concept from the Coral Castle. You guys know that, right? Over there in Florida, where this 100-pound guy built
Oh,
huge
yeah.
obelisk stones monuments,
Yeah.
and he died with the secrets of how he did it. But people speculate that he had magnetic technology or sound wave technology to help him move all that stuff. So telekinesis, synthetic telekinesis, is entirely possible because I've seen it happen. They do that. I don't believe in ghosts. I believe there's a scientific explanation behind everything, and I have found those explanations. So yeah, things flying off shelves and things levitating. Yeah, it can be done artificially. That's what I wanted to add.
Well, like your oh, well, there's other things too. There's magnetic and electrical fields that your people are, if you're able to know how you can your mind can control that them fields, magnetic and sound fields, with control of your mind and your energy from, yeah, okay, you can you're able to control the situation for what you want, and you can manipulate a wide variety of certain things, they say.
Now, the thing that gets me is biometrics. Like, everybody knows what biometrics is now, and nobody wants to admit that that is exactly what you're talking about right there. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, no big deal, but well, even V and Otto talk about how back in the freaking 1990s and the early 2000s, they loved doing research on it because freaking it was just so fascinating. You know what I mean? It was a big mystery back then, but now it's just everyday knowledge. Yeah, biometrics is real. You know what I mean? But when you have conversations like this, oh, it's not the same thing. You know what I mean? No, it's not the same thing, man.
Yeah, but AAAS, so it's different. You got humonic waves and sound that each person's body releases. And they have said too, telekinesis works on that same principle, where it's like a location or.
Now, when you say AAAS, you're talking about the American Association for the Advancement of Science, right?
Yeah. And they got wide varieties of different groups within it.
Now, when it comes to biometrics, okay, and it comes to that you're either looking at like forensic science reports about fingerprints and like facial recognition, or you're looking at cloud computing technologies, and that's called authentication as a service, which is AAAS.
Doesn't have to be cloud, it can be sort of device specific. Take the phone print fingerprint readers that we use on mobile phones these days.
Yeah.
They're the ones that came up. They found out about fingerprints. How you're like your second fingerprint on your right hand. A person down the road, the same fingerprint on your left hand can be on his right hand. So they had to redo the whole thing about when they fingerprint you, they got to be specific on what finger is wrong, to where if the same fingerprint appears on a different thing, they got to know on what hand and what finger.
Well, see what they actually, the AAS, they published a science assessment, and they said that fingerprint source identity lacks scientific basis for legal certainty, and that in that report they proved that like courtroom claims stating that fingerprints can only belong to like one single person are wrong.
Okay.
So they called for like a better automated system and stricter testing for to fight cognitive bias is what they called it.
But hell, your country still uses still allow for polygraph tests in courts, don't they? Or even on the state.
Well, they're actually trying to get facial recognition into it. I was talking about that the other night. You know, this shit's just straight up eugenics programs. That's all it is. It's straight up eugenics, and they're just
no, it's just pattern recognition.
That's what that facial recognition is. It's eugenics, dude.
No, it's pattern recognition.
We call it your retina, where without your retina, they won't let you, because that's going to be part of it.
Don't think we are.
Well, the thing about the polygraph stuff, it's still used in American courts, but it's not used as conclusive evidence.
Okay.
It's only suggestive.
No, so they have got people prosecuted. They got framed by the fingerprint.
If there's more evidence to back it, yes. But a polygraph by itself cannot convict you.
So same with fingerprints as well. Then fingerprints will be treated exactly the same.
But they said that they do gotta watch out, because that, like you said, and when they're coming up with the different types of fingerprints on different hands and fingers.
Yeah. So it gives you suspicion of something, of an action taking place, but it's not. You need further proof to substantiate that suspicion.
Yeah.
So fingerprints by themselves are not sufficient.
Well, according to that company in Australia, they take the material and they make it to where it functions by sound, electric fields, and all that to test the brain.
Okay, let me read something to you so that we can clear this up again. Okay, so Sir Francis Galton is the guy who I'm talking about. He not only was he's the one who coined eugenics, the word eugenics, okay? He was the cousin of Charles Darwin. He was his half cousin, okay? He was a scientist who played a massive role in the forensic science. And he was specifically the one who pioneered work in fingerprints, as well as the thing with the photos that I was talking about. Okay. So not only was he a part in the whole freaking facial recognition thing, but the fingerprint shit. He's also he played a big part on it. You can check that out if you want. Just saying, this shit is eugenics 100%.
Yeah, but it can also be just used for pattern recognition.
He's the father of modern day fingerprinting, dude.
Yeah. Again, pattern recognition to aid in a case in
Eugenics.
pattern recognition. If you've got something that could potentially be unique or at
It's
least
phronology,
close to
dude. It's phronology. You don't
well,
want
it's not
It's
phrenology,
pattern
but
recognition.
there is an overlap. It doesn't
Yeah,
mean it
yeah.
can't be both. Okay.
it's freaking phronology, okay? Phrenology and photographing, like the criminal face. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Profiling.
He may not have been filling around on people's freaking skulls for bumps and shit, but he was obsessed with freaking the whole criminal thing. Like he freaking did the whole. I'm not lying, dude. He wanted to see if the
Yeah.
person's
I'm
physical
not
looks.
dating. I'm not
Well-
dating you, but
Yeah.
Well,
He-
fingerprinting does have a lot more science rooted into it than that stuff, though. If you
Okay,
want to
but-
do a comparison,
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
do
but
agree
what-
with the pattern thing because
Well-
our fingerprints are kind of unique. I don't know, but does that lead to a personality deficit or some
It shouldn't be whole
profiling? No, it shouldn't.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be held where they can use that for anyway, saying that you broke the law because your fingerprints appear on whatever. Where when they can't compare your fingerprints to the layout of the other.
Well, I just read where they're finally coming out with information saying that fingerprints are flawed. The whole concept that one person has their own significant fingerprints is a lie, dude. Like,
Yeah,
there
but
could be-
being on that, having that fingerprint on that specific finger is what's the percentage of people having
it's a good question.
that? Must
Actually,
be minuscule.
what is the percentage? All right.
Well, you better hope they keep this fingerprint thing because they're going to use that as an excuse to, well, we're going to need some way to better detect and to ID somebody that they can't change. And next thing you know, you're going to have towers, 1,000 towers sprouting up everywhere that's remote neural monitoring everybody. Oh, well, around scene of this crime, your brainwaves are picked up. And, yeah, can't be
Yeah, but-
anybody else but you.
But with them
As
new
people
cameras
said,
that
that
get
already
in the
been
car,
done, haven't they? People picking up, police picking up, getting data from Google Maps and using that to associate a crime
well,
with a
they were,
person.
The flock,
they
the
were,
flock cameras. Oh, that's terrible.
yeah, but they
Well,
were,
that's
they were-
mainly more to do with transportation, but
Well, no, every they're tracking everything.
arguably. But that's
Yeah,
the,
but-
one of the
but-
official reasons. That's the
Well,
point.
no. But if you look into it, they use that data and they cross-reference it with other kinds of data that's collected. So it's full
Maybe
on.
in the US, that's
the US
again,
does.
in the
Yes.
in Europe, we've got the GDPR. That would be illegal under
but what they're
European Union, EA.
next
Yeah.
year,
Well, they are sharing data. Yes.
yeah, but by next year, all these cars got to have the new stuff in. The third camera will be for the back of the car. The second one would be for the passenger. The third would be for the driver. If it looks like your eyes are red or bloodshot, and if your pulse is up high, they got that thing where it registers your pulse on the steering wheel. And if they got
Okay,
that airborne detector for alcohol.
Roger, when you get a chance next, find the legislation that's related to enforced cameras, or at least in the US, enforced
Well,
cameras. in
here I can. Yeah, that's actually a good thing to do because that's actually good. And then, like in Britain as well, because like in England, they have real strong camera laws where they they're actually encouraging it, and it's people in England are
Yeah, but
really
we've also got really strong data, technically stronger than just the GDPR. We've got our data protection laws stretching back to 72 or something,
yeah, but
76,
you guys are
which are
obsessed with
extremely strong.
cameras, dude. You guys are
Yeah,
obsessed with cameras. I mean,
but yeah,
seriously.
again, if it's in a public area, then there has to be some information printed close to it on who is the data controller and contact information, and unless you explicitly agree to it, no data, unless there's warrant, no data can be swapped between companies.
Well, yeah, but if
You
you
either
don't,
have to be, you've got to agree to it,
yeah,
or
because if you don't,
there has to be warrant.
yeah, because if you don't agree, you don't get cars.
Right? Again, that would need legislation done.
Yeah,
A
it does.
company can't just make that decision. It will have to be done through state or federal legislation, as far as the US is
Well,
concerned.
the reason what they're saying is they're making up these laws because too many drugs, alcohol, when you drive fast, reckless driving, and when there's too many people in the vehicle, or if you're drinking as you're driving, the vehicle can turn over and transport it to the cops.
Okay, so I pulled up that information.
State-based, aren't they, in US?
Now, in the United States, there's very little federal protection against camera tracking your car or scanning your face in public. Instead, the U.S. relies on patchwork of state laws, local city bans, and recent corporate policy changes to limit public surveillance. Legally, the Supreme Court has long ruled that you have no reasonable expectation of privacy when you are out in the open on public streets. Protection varies depending on what the cameras are tracking. Now, car tracking, automated license plate readers, ALPRs. Police forces and private companies use systems like Flock Safety to run massive networks of AI-powered cameras. These cameras do not just read license plates. They log a vehicle's make, color, and roof racks and unique dents. Federal law, there are zero federal laws banning or restricting these cameras. In fact, agencies like the FBI actively try to buy access to national license plate databases.
Cameras themselves,
that what I just
even in
said?
the UK, even in the UK, cameras are out there, and there's no expectation of privacy in a public place. But the difference is, in the UK, I can write off to the data protection officer and say, provide me with all the data you've got on me. And if he doesn't, with a few exceptions, he could be breaking the law.
Now, what if a higher court?
As well.
What if a higher court decided that your information is top secret and that you are not allowed to have?
Yeah. That's why I said we have a few exceptions. So if it's part of national security, they may not.
Like if they consider you a threat, then they aren't obliged to give you the information.
If it's an active legal situation, if
MI6 is suspecting you of treason, then because you're saying outlandish, subversive things on the internet,
yeah, like me.
Well, or who you associate with, but then look up inside for the car, Roger, the cameras in the new cars. Next year, this all goes into effect.
Now,
I'm not sure, but I've got to double check this. There might be some protections under the California Consumer Protection Act.
Well,
now, actually, you know something that's funny? Because just to go along with this, when my targeting started, I did call up the FBI. And I was like, why you guys messing with me? Why you guys watching me? Why you guys watching me? We're not watching you, sir. You're paranoid. And then I go online and look up my information that can actually be researched publicly. There's a huge red flashing thing that comes up on my thing says under government watch list. You can look up my information, and the second page that comes up is under government watch.
I would speak to a lawyer and see if you can find out what is the reason.
Oh yeah, no,
for that.
I'm way ahead of you on that. Yeah, I have all that planned. Absolutely.
Yeah, but the car, they're talking about like your retinal. They go by that because like if it's all red from alcohol or smoking any kind of illegal stuff, and in your pulse, they don't get all tied to the car.
I have high blood pressure and I have permanent red eye, so I would never be able to drive a car.
Okay, I got the thing about the car dealers too. It says yes, a dealership can legally refuse to sell you a vehicle if you refuse to sign their privacy agreement or object to a built-in cameras. Private businesses generally maintain the right to refuse service to anyone providing they are not discriminating against a protected class such as race, religion, or gender. If a dealership requires consent to data collection as part of their standard purchase agreement, they can simply walk away from the deal if you refuse to sign.
Okay.
Well,
Not agreeing to contracts. Yeah, but
right.
you can go to another company and ask for a car from them. It's up to you as the consumer to decide to buy a car with cameras.
Go to a private seller. That's what I would do.
Indeed.
Now, why dealers and manufacturers require consent? They have manufacturer built-in hardware. Modern vehicles come equipped with driver-facing cameras directly from the factory floor to monitor drivers' distraction or impairment. Because the physical hardware cannot easily be uninstalled by the dealer, the car is legally bound to collect data. So liability and terms of service.
Yeah, and then the data would be subject to your local jurisdictional laws, such as the California Consumer Protection Act or the General Data Protection Regulations within Europe.
Now, dealerships frequently profit by sharing or selling customer data or using data to process financing. Signing the privacy policy is usually mandatory to secure a vehicle loan.
Yeah. But yeah, it's up to you. As I keep on saying, always read those terms and conditions.
Now, because I'm in Illinois, I have access to some of the strongest privacy laws in the United States, specifically the Illinois Biometric Information Privacy Act, which is the BIPA. So that's the mandatory disclosure that you're talking about. Under BIPA, a dealership or automaker cannot secretly scan your face or collect biometric data without providing written notice and obtaining your explicit signed consent.
But these companies will just get you to agree to a contract, and you've already agreed to it. Therefore, you're already aware. And it's the old joke, isn't it? Ignorance is justification of the law. If you don't read the terms of services, that's your fault.
Well, if you don't agree to sign the freaking consent forms, you don't get the video or the vehicle either. So
the product,
So you're kind of screwed out of the deal. It sounds like 1984, man. It sounds like freaking 1984.
There are plenty of other automobile companies out there.
So why can't people have the privilege of owning those less than 1 year old cars that freaking don't have freaking cameras in them?
Hold on. Does this go for, like, if you go to a car lot and you buy the vehicle outright? Let's say no payments. You buy the vehicle. You don't owe anything there. No payments. Do you just pry the cameras out and you don't get in trouble, or what?
the car was shut down.
No, BMW has done this. BMW, even for the outright sales, in certain circumstances, have put a yearly subscription contract. The joke about, I think it was BMW cars and heated seats, if you remember that one from a couple of months ago. Yeah, so even if you buy a car, you might have subscription fees for, I don't know, special little features like hair conditioning or coffee mug or something. Or something.
And then they can what? They can kind of repossess the vehicle?
No.
Or you go to prison or something?
No.
In England, you can go to jail for freaking tampering, or if you don't. The right to repair thing is something that's been going on there for quite a long time.
Actually, it was a couple of years ago. I think 2 years ago. Must be 4 years ago now, just before the pandemic. There was a law in the UK, specifically UK, in relation to repairing your own white goods, so fridges, kitchenware, sort of things, fridges, freezers, that sort of thing.
I wonder what they're going to do with the vehicles. That's actually a good question. So,
they already brought that up. Old vehicles that don't have it, well, before you can go get your new license or sticker, they have a place that you got to go to where they can install all that into the vehicle, and it all runs by that little black box.
There was a bill going through the EU. Must have been a year ago now, and I've not heard anything about it since. In relation to firmware subscription models, firmware subscription contracts. I don't think it has got anywhere, as far as I am aware.
But hey V, but what they were talking about this car, like if your heater, your heat warmer, odds and ends that they put in, well, they have a deadline for all the things. In 6 months, it could discontinue and shut down. Okay, and by what they're saying is okay, after that now a time, you have a choice. You have to pay for a fee, monthly fee, for each of the things to be turned back on.
Yeah, I've been, as everybody knows, I'm a fan of Lewis Rossman, a YouTube commentator that also is domestic IT repair shop for decades now, mainly dealing with Macs, Apple Macs and stuff. And he looks at, he talks a lot about all of these devices that either the subscriptions, the so-called cloud servers have stopped working, therefore the device itself doesn't work anymore, or the contracts have changed and all of your cloud services are now being paid, now expected to be paid for. Before Amazon bought the Ring doorbell company, Ring did this by one of the more popular models of doorbell cameras at the time, had this service terminated in something less than a year, and they weren't providing any refunds. So you've got this doorbell that doesn't do anything now because it has to connect to a server that's not being used or not being discontinued. So yeah, these things happen all the time, especially in the US.
Yeah, but here's the thing. But as everyone brought up, okay, when you buy a vehicle, you actually think that everything when you buy the vehicle, everything that's in it is yours. And as they say, that with all the new stuff and all that within, that's only a temporary thing for running. And after a while, You have, and they're even talking about with household appliances doing that even.
Technically, if you've bought a car and not loaning it, not renting it, therefore you haven't actually got a car itself. You only got a license agreement. If you own the car, you can. Sorry, I've lost my thread. Yeah, I can't remember what I was going to say then.
Well, so let me add. So when I was doing my research on these block cameras, and I love it. There's a couple of lawyers, attorneys on YouTube that just basically tell you how to screw the system. And they're saying,
Yeah.
when it comes to these block cameras, there's not much you can do except for, go to your town halls, city meetings, and complain about them. And if that doesn't work, there are special infrared blocking sunglasses you can buy. And you can also just wear a mask on your face with the infrared glasses. It's not illegal. You can walk around. You can even wear a COVID mask. Nobody's going to question you.
Yeah,
So I think I'm going to start doing that myself.
Yeah, but now they're coming out with face recognition when you go wherever you go. If them cameras picked up, they're able to track, and they're making accusations about for security and all the other regular stuff.
Well, I mean, they're using it to stalk people. They're stalking people. It's not. There's a point where there's something that's surveillance, and then there's a point where you get to stalking, and they absolutely do that. Stalking leads to persecution. Persecution leads to corruption and oppression. Okay, it's just where that's the way it goes.
Yeah.
These people are not mature enough. We are not evolved enough as a species for this power not to be abused. Just like any power we've given the government, it's always abused.
Well, it's not so much. Yeah, but it's well. Here's the thing: it does not have to be government, but people.
Okay. It's just going to the point of it's still going to just monitoring places safety of the system.
I guess someone's going out.
Talking,
Can you hear me?
yeah.
I think we've lost. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, got you back. Okay.
Okay. I was wondering because Lord Elworthy was cutting. You could barely understand what he was saying, but with parts of his voice you couldn't hear. It was cutting out. But yeah.
Okay. I was just making the comment in relation to stalking or just monitoring public places.
Yeah.
But just these sort of stalking programs.
But they were talking about like them cameras in the vehicle, and they even mentioned about how it locks onto your eyes. They do that a camera for the driver. Okay. And I'm thinking, now, what is the thing of if you're an FBI agent or any government office, okay, and it's the thing that certain things should not be known about, where information can be leaked the wrong way or corrupt, okay, and if you as a government officer, you don't need your retinal.
And you in the US 50 with a couple of and Fast Five is
We're getting the AI version of Lord Worthy.
Yeah, you're
the
breaking up big time,
you
Mark. Calm down for a second, because you're moving. You're moving. Just you know when your audio your audio is breaking up. You're turning into like that. It's like barely coming out. Try it again now. Do a quick sound check real quick.
Okay, it's just working better. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, but it's not sounding better. So since Mark Edworthy can't talk, I do want to say that in the last 2 years, I have become amazed with the freaking how advanced freaking eugenics has actually become in the last 100 years, because like all of the things that I thought wasn't eugenics has actually proven to be eugenics. You know what I mean? Like I could understand the concept of abortion being a form of voluntary eugenics. That's something I could understand. But when I started learning that freaking they're using freaking facial recognition and that's a form of eugenics, fingerprinting is
or a form of data recognition, pattern recognition.
That's what it's all about, dude. I mean, you understand why.
It just depends on how you want to look at it.
You know
How the motivations for such technology.
It's that simple, huh? It's kind of like, and people have a hard time with understanding like that, because like I had a conversation with somebody who John actually, no, it was actually it was a guest that we have on Wonderful World of Weirdness. He comes on every once in a while, and he said that he was a bouncer at a frickin' bar when he was younger, and that he had to pay attention to the way people behave, because he could usually tell who the person was in the bar that was going to cause trouble before they did it.
Yeah, but he wasn't looking at the shape of the person's nose or if their eyebrows were too close together. He was looking at the behaviour. If you're a bouncer, I've been in several. Well, we've all been in nightclubs before, and
really now
the bouncer, eh? Well, I presume
Lord Edworthy is kind of risque, isn't he?
He goes to the more distinguished pubs. He doesn't. He doesn't.
Oh no, he goes to one where they all have the corn. Not the corn pipes, but the wooden pipes, and they all sit around and say "bully, bully, bully,
bully."
Yeah, there's a little place where
I doubt it.
Scotch in a pipe.
He's from Devon, dude. Trust me.
A good bourbon.
He's hanging out with some pretty rough country boys out there in Devonshire.
I've been known to. I've been known.
My goodness. Your audio is better, by the way. It's straight out.
Cool.
So you're.
Well, I will say this. Okay. I just figure in the process of all sorts of different damages, comprehensions, as they say, the human mind goes through a change where it reroutes sensors of how the perception, understanding, fear, and anger, and with each of them and because when you have serious damage to the brain, they have shown that the brain has to adapt and comprehend, because they had to reroute, because it was one whole section of the brain was completely damaged from a massive car wreck where a guy shot through the front window and hit the tree, and they had to redo it all. Just not with, but they had to teach. They hook him up to a computer, and they put through a process where it taught the brain different things, like when he moved his hand or his
So
foot.
CAT scan.
Well, it
Anything.
taught the brain. It taught the brain the new ways going through your.
Well, do you guys want to hear the entertainment side of this? Like you guys have been wanting to go on about the scientific sides, and we brought up BlackRock, but you guys don't even know about the entertainment part yet.
Probably can guess, but carry on.
Have you guys heard of a MOTI or Open BCI?
Open
Mhm.
PCI? No.
Have you, V?
Yes.
What have you heard?
That's not what I've heard, it's what I've experienced. But go ahead.
Okay.
No.
So they build consumer-friendly, supposedly, wireless headsets. They're lined with sensors. And they're widely used by researchers and video game developers and tech enthusiasts to experiment with mind control software. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you about at the beginning when I hopped on.
Mm-hmm.
The child playing with the little ball, the guy typing on the keyboard. It's just a little ring that you put around your head, and you can do all this kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, they made a movie about it.
Now you have another one. It's called Neurable. Have you guys heard of Neurable?
Again, not familiar with this industry.
Okay, they build smartphones that look exactly like everyday listening gear, but have brain sensors built into the ear cushions, and they track focus. They detect mental fatigue and allow basic hand-free control. And then after that, this is the most interesting one. It's called Muse, and this company makes popular lightweight headbands that track your brain waves to guide you through meditation and measure how calm or distracted your mind is.
Hmm.
So that we can get that for Otto for his birthday.
I think I've seen a project similar in relation to sleep. What's the condition where you can't sleep or you sleep too much?
Insomnia.
I think we should make a collection and buy one of the Muse headbands for Otto so that he can wear it when he meditates and sleeps at night, because
I can get all this data sent to a third party provider.
so that's the entertainment side of things.
But you can use that for a lot of other things for medical reasons.
Well, that one was it was for freaking mind control. What was that? Emoti and Open BCI. They straight out say to experiment with mind controlled software.
None of the technologies you've mentioned are invasive. Don't actually have to have a medical operation or anything.
No.
They're all on the outside.
Yep. Well, it's like that watch you keep bragging about. It's biometric. It tells you what your heart rate is, everything.
Yeah.
It's literally creeping up into your brain and sending data off to a third party.
Right.
You know.
Be interesting to see if any Bluetooth ear bud manufacturers are bringing in this sort of technology.
Well, you know,
glasses. The bands.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because I just realized here recently that for me to use what was it? It was for me to use freaking the video game thing. What's that called? It's Ubisoft. To download something for a video game, I have to have a Bluetooth freaking connection.
Why?
I don't know. And Vector is the same way. If I want to sign into Vector with TAN, I have to have a Bluetooth connection for a VoIP.
No, you can disable Can't find my phone. It's over there somewhere. I'll have a look later.
Well, I've always been suspicious of Bluetooth. I think that's one of the most suspicious.
Well, I use Bluetooth every day. I've got,
Well, I know you do.
yeah, I've got a small 8-inch computer. I've got a full-blown Bluetooth keyboard and mouse for it. I wear Bluetooth earbuds every day.
I just find it suspicious that there's some of these devices you can't use without Bluetooth. You know,
Low power. Well, it's just a low powered communications network.
Well,
protocol.
maybe it's the phone too. Like you can't use the phone to get on to freaking Jitsi. Probably it could be something like that.
So they got Bluetooth
I don't think
phone
so.
as
I don't
well.
think so. That's
So
not
if
gonna
it's
be
don't they
fine.
got a Bluetooth phone?
But see, the thing that's so deceptive about that is they claim to be open source, but they still want your information. They still have to have access.
So the product might be open source, but the again, you have to read the terms of service agreement and privacy.
They're conniving data stealers that want to.
No, they're not stealing. You are just gifting it to them.
I'm giving.
You're providing it to them. I should
Well,
say.
no. It is misleading because if you're not providing, if you're not benefit from it, but they are.
Well, you are benefit from it. That's the whole
You
thing.
owe
See,
nothing, and you will be happy.
that's the whole thing. That's the premise they're saying. They're saying that you're benefiting with your benefit is the fact that you get to use that technology. So if you want to use that technology, you are forced into using Bluetooth. That's forced consent, and that's what I've had my
No,
issues.
it's not enforced because if you've still got the opportunity not to use the product.
That's the thing that you stand by, but this is something that we've also had conversations on when it comes to stuff like YouTube, and they're freaking changing the goalpost. You know what I mean?
Or
Like,
better still, what happened just last week in relation to was it Sony and removing games from that you've already bought license for just in last week or two?
Yep.
Yeah.
And you start seeing that kind of stuff, and then like now with this whole change that they're doing with freaking YouTube on AI, okay, like this right here is big, and I've been listening to some of the content creators who've been chiming in on that, and they're phasing out a lot of the freaking people who are doing monetization because now they like they're going to make it to where monetization is still going to have people who like have 1 million freaking viewers and stuff, but everybody who's got like 150,000 subscribers.
They've increased the minimum wage within the last week or so.
Yeah.
Double the amount.
They're phasing them out, you know.
8,000 per before per. I think it's 8,000 subscribers and at least a minimum of 100 views per month before you can start monetizing. I think now.
See, that's all. That all has to do with telekinesis.
Yeah, and that's something. Telekinesis and your health. When a person does enough of it, doesn't it lower how your body functions, your health wise, your energy.
Well, see,
you pointed that out earlier with that woman.
Yeah. Now, see, you also have to take into consideration there's a difference between mind control and freaking like physical things like magnetism. A lot of the stuff we're talking about with the technology is the technology they found when it came to like the alternative stuff. Like they didn't actually find proof that mental control freaking was real, but they found out that electromagnetism was a big deal, when it came to the body, which didn't have anything to do with mind. It just had to do with your physical body has an electromagnetic current that they can manipulate. You know what I mean?
Still
And that,
marketed, yeah, it's still marketed as these days.
right.
Yeah.
You know, so whenever somebody's bending that spoon, they're using freaking energy from their body to do it.
Yeah, we call it like your magnetic.
Yeah. Now meditation, and like after I've gone through all of this stuff, the thing of it is like I mentioned to you about the transcendentalists, okay, where they would sit across from one another and stare at each other.
Mhm.
Now that would be a form of eugenics because they were actually looking at each other's freaking the way they looked, the way they freaking behaved.
So,
Wow,
and if
kind of
every time I
sounds like
look at somebody,
romance.
Mhm.
yeah, I was going to say. Um, so that's that bird that was over the other side of the bar from me last week.
Mhm.
That couldn't get her eyes off me. Was doing a form of eugenics.
Yeah, she was reading your mind.
Okay.
She's getting a read on you, brother.
She,
She
I
was
mean,
wondering
see,
how many times she could wrap those curls around her pinky.
that's right. She was reading your mind.
Or we call it,
She was like, I wonder if that dude's a dirty English dude.
well, no, we call it like,
Dirty English Lord. Lord Edward is a dirty man.
No, see,
Yeah.
no. In England, the women have to worry about is the dude straight or not.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think it's
they-
that deep.
yeah, but they say too, like when a woman, if a woman likes you, like a sense or a magnetic, you body picks up from someone else.
Well, see that's something that I was talking to you about the other day too that we need to do because like this also gets into intuitive thinking. Okay, now this goes even deeper if you want to go that route because when you start thinking or talking about intuitive thinking, that takes you into another form of research that they're actually doing. Like they're literally doing scientific research on intuitive thinking.
Okay.
And that's another thing we could probably do if you wanted to do
You know, you can go so many places with that. You know, that's what the
Yeah.
double soul guru was doing.
Mhm.
You know, when he's saying, you know, we as men need to be naked together and touch our shroom heads together and slap each other's balls.
Well, you know that Robert probably doesn't want to hear that. It's probably making him sick to his stomach, dude.
Oh, don't speak for him when you're. Quit
Robert,
projecting.
is that making
Quit
you sick to
projecting.
your stomach, dude?
Well, I couldn't hear him too clearly.
See,
Okay,
you're projecting.
okay.
See,
He's
I don't think
blocking
Robert would
you
have a
out.
problem.
Robert literally is.
No.
I don't think
Yeah.
Robert would have a problem with having a bromance. I know Mark wouldn't.
Well,
It's all
depends on who if.
I think V's trying. I think V's trying to come on to one of us. I just don't,
You know what?
I don't know
can't-
which one. That's the scary
It's a hard
part.
choice. I haven't seen Robert, but you know I love that bald head of yours, and then those curly cues over there. God, you guys make me so confused.
Wherever.
I would feel complimented if it wasn't coming from V, dude. He's
no, but like your field. Everyone they say your field. Everyone, if you're sat next to someone, like harmonics.
harmonics.
Yeah.
Magnetic attractance. Well, you know, there's books on that kind of stuff.
Harmonics too.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there are books like that that tell you how to make yourself magnetic to women and all this other stuff, and how to change your energy and make the universe kneel to you and all that stuff. Yeah, I mean, theoretically, I mean, it's overinflated, but theoretically, all this stuff is kind of true.
Yeah.
I remember all those 90s self-help books as well.
Yeah, I bet
Yeah.
you did.
And see, that's the thing that I keep trying to get at when it comes to having a conversation with you, Robert. You got to kind of watch what you're taking in, and you know what I mean, because there's a lot of freaking deception out there. You know what I mean? Like you've really got to keep hold of this stuff. Like, you know how you know a woman's interested in you?
How?
She'll ask you to buy her stuff.
No.
Yeah. What's your credit card number?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, but that's the thing. You gotta freaking understand that kind of stuff. It's not about mind control. It's not about telekinesis. Like that, they call that sex magic. Okay, and like the sex magic is a state of mind.
Absolutely.
Okay, it's just not even magic. It's just a state of mind. You know what I mean?
Psychology is magic. Magic is psychology.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, what I'm referring to is that when, like hormones.
That's sex magic. That's sex magic. Okay, now look at it like this. I've told everybody here. It's like I've told everybody here. I've been freaking celibate now for what a good at least. Well, I know I was 8 years sober when I went celibate, and I sobered up in 2003. It's 2013 minus 8. No, 23 minus 8. Wow, that's
a long time.
Yeah. So at least 15 years I've been celibate. Now I can have conversations with women and actually get along with them, and the reason for that is because they know that they don't have to freaking worry about sex. It's not an issue. Okay, so they're more comfortable. But if somebody who's not celibate has a conversation with them, they feel that feeling where I got to watch what I have to say to them, because if I do, they're going to get the wrong idea.
And there's also the flip side of that. When you're like me, you look at them, you don't give a damn. Right. They get thirsty.
Yeah, they get thirsty. That's the second part that I was going to mention, because that's what happens. All of a sudden, you become a person of interest because you're unobtainable, and you actually talk to them. Like you don't.
You gotta become unattainable. What do they call it? Unattainium.
Yeah, that's a new metal they put out. It's called unattainium. We wear it around our junk.
Yeah, I got a Prince Albert with one of those.
Florida, where you guys giggle out of that.
Okay, so this is spiraling downward really, really bad. Do you want to go ahead and end the show? Or you
Okay, but what I was referring to as well is that with each of the new things that they're coming out with, and is it able to enhance other things like medical, different types of medical, and wait for.
Now, I do. I before we end, I probably should mention this to you. I do have more information that we can do another show on. Now, a lot of this research also goes into corporations like or actually schools like the Monroe Institute. If you want to check out that, we could do another show on that later on, and that actually goes into a lot of the stuff that you're talking about. So, I mean, it's up to you, Robert. But I can pull notes up like we've done here, and we could have a show about the Monroe Institute.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right with the other two.
Have you guys heard of the Monroe Institute?
Yeah. I do some refresh on that.
How about you, V? V went dark. He got upset because we turned away his passes. He tried to do funny things to us.
I'm not going to comment.
No. I was talking to my wife.
Okay.
my way.
Have you ever heard of the
Annoying.
Monroe Institute?
Yes.
Okay. Would you be interested in coming back for another episode concerning the Monroe Institute?
That depends on when, because I need to let my phone charge up some more.
Well, not right now. I mean, but later on.
Sure.
Because, like, now, this actually, the stuff that freaking I've been checking out for Robert has brought up a lot of different subjects, and it's weird because it all connects to some of the stuff that I've been doing too. So I'm actually kind of interested. I was hesitant about doing this telekinesis stuff because at first I was thinking, it was just a bunch of hoppycock, which a lot of it I still believe is. But then I started doing this stuff, and I was like, "Whoa, dude! This actually goes a lot deeper than I thought it did." So I'm game.
I'm just thinking. Thankfully, you didn't invite Mr. Robot on this one.
Oh well, Mr. Robot, he would.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
He would have mentioned. He would have mentioned freaking Atlantis or some shit. Everything ties to Atlantis in the kingdom of Mu.
Okay.
The great battle between Mu and Atlantis.
Well, fight telekinesis.
Well, see, according to him, Atlantis and Mu were at war with one another over the control of the human race because the Atlanteans wanted to rule the humans, where the Mu, they wanted freaking the humans to be left alone. So there was a huge freaking battle between the two of them where they used their extremely powerful freaking abilities against one another, and that's why Atlantis sunk.
I thought you were going to say battering ram. I got my head out of the gutter. Extremely powerful battering rams. Sorry, I drifted off there. I'm going all Oscar Wilde on this episode too. Goodness
yeah,
gracious.
you are. Shit.
Maybe I got a little sugar in my tank.
We gotta go down to Key West and make a freaking statue for you. Set it up right there on the coast of freaking Cuba. Sitting there holding freaking your arm over the side of freaking Oscar Wilde and V. The loving embrace.
Drinking martinis.
Hey, hold on. Hey, that's my drink now. Don't knock the martini. But at least I like them dirty. I like them dirty.
Yeah, but let me ask you a question. When all this going on, have anyone actually ever took a brain, the temperature of the human brain? Where
I haven't stuck a thermometer in my ear for a long time.
I would think it'd be 98.6 degrees. That's the optimal temperature our body works.
Not the body, the mind. In the mind, it says that the temperature in the mind is 45. But when you are splitting up your brain, does the temperature rises with the activity?
Yeah. Brain activity. They do that with that's God, what the hell they call that? It's where they freaking put the sensors on your head, and then they measure the freaking frequencies according to color and temperature.
But the brain is it's more magnetic than it is electrical. So I don't know.
Yeah, but your brain is made out of like cholesterol.
No, it's made out of brain matter.
The material they're saying.
Haven't you heard it?
Doula matter.
And it's supposed to hold the intensity of the signal going through a whole lot better.
Do you know if the brain was made out of cholesterol, do you know how smart I would be right now?
Yeah. I swear, Robert.
300 pounds. Which is, I mean, not to brag, it's probably not the right time to do that, but yes, I've dropped 50 pounds. I'm now 300 pounds.
Well, I'm talking about like the material, like they said that the brain has to take and use that material to keep the material. That's how the brain grows, keeps it going.
I can pull that up on what the material is you're thinking about.
Okay.
What material is the brain made of? See if they answer it. To the surprise of many people, your brain is not solid like iron or firm like muscle. Physically, a living human brain feels very soft and squishy, similar to textures of soft tofu, gelatin, or cold butter. Chemically, structurally, the brain is made up of a mix of water, fats, proteins, and electrical wiring. Water, 75% to 80%. Fats and lipids, 10% to 12%. And proteins and carbohydrates, 8% to 10%. So we have living brain tissues, neurons, and glial cells. There you go.
What's a glial cell?
Glial cell is 86 billion cells. It cleans up biological waste and holds neurons in place. And that is let me come back up here. That is interesting. Because they don't really get into that. Glial cells. I'll put a question mark next to it. If neurons are the rock stars of the brain that gets all the attention, glial cells are, or glia, are the massive backstage crew. Without them, the show cannot go on. The word glia actually comes from the Greek word of glue, because early scientists thought these cells were just there to stick the brain together. Today we know they do much more.
Meat glue.
They are the doctors, trash collectors, security guards, and construction workers of your brain. There are 4 main types of glial cells in your brain, and each has a specific job. Astrocytes, the star-shaped helpers. These cells look like tiny stars. They act as the brain's security guards and nutritionists. Feeding time. They attach themselves to your brain vessels to grab food, oxygen, and nutrients and feed them directly to the neurons.
And what parts do they do the thing of for telekinesis? I mean, it makes you wonder.
That would be the oligodendrochronocytes, the wire insulators.
What about any of the others?
Well, actually, the trash collectors and the medics, the macroglia, might have something to do with it. The oligodendrochronocytes, or the wire insulators, they're cells that wrap themselves around pathways like the protective rubber coating on an electrical extension cord, basically. And they have a fatty coating called myelin, which speeds up your thoughts. So without it, electrical signals crawling slowly end up crawling slowly through the brain, so you think slower.
Okay.
So that would be what that is.
Medulla oblongata. You're wrong.
Yeah, this is not talking about my mom.
Yeah, well,
My mom said.
like
My mama said.
That's not what my mom said. My mom is okay. So Robert, we better end this, dude.
Yeah.
It's getting out of control. You want me to go ahead and do the ending?
Yeah.
Okay. So, here we go. Oh, let's see here. Okay, so and that brings us to the end of tonight's journey into the unknown. We've explored some interesting questions tonight. We've considered some possibilities, and hopefully, we've given you something to think about after the show is over. Not every question has an answer, not every mystery has been solved. And sometimes the most interesting part is simply asking the question. We'd like to thank everyone who took time to join us tonight, whether you're watching live or catching the replay. From Robert and everyone here, thank you for being with us. Until next time, keep asking questions, keep looking for answers, and never be afraid to explore the unknown. I'm Roger Hanson, and this has been The Unknown. Good night, everyone.